Open quotes. I've tried everything, but nothing works. Close quotes. This is what I'm going to chat about today in this episode of the podcast. I'm going to ask the difficult questions as to what have you tried, as well as the difficult questions as to why has it not worked. Maybe not questions, but some statements are going to be included, and some tough love is definitely going to be included. On that note, welcome to this episode of the Mandy Meyer podcast. As per usual, this is the podcast where we chat all about your health and fat loss. All about your health and fat loss goals on your expedition and how you can achieve those goals, no matter how difficult it gets. Now, as mentioned, this episode isn't so much an educational episode of me telling you what to do and when to do it if health and fat loss is your goal. But rather, this is more of a tough love kind of episode. I'm going to be telling you the things that you need to hear. And the reason that you need to hear them is so that you can move forward and actually see progress on this thing called health and fat loss. Now, remember when I say tough love, or when I give you tough love, it's not coming from a place of me wanting to be rude or wanting to be straightforward or not caring about how you feel or not caring about your progress. It's actually the total opposite. When I dish out tough love like this, it's because I do care and I do want to see you progressing. And if that means I need to be the one that calls out you on your nonsense or rubbish or shit, if you will, then so be it. But as I said, this does come from a place of love, okay? So now that we all understand that, you have tried everything, but nothing works according to you. My question is, have you stuck to anything consistently for a long period of time? And if the answer is no, my next question will be, actually, it's not a question, maybe it's more of a statement. The everything that you have tried could very well be every single fad diet or every single different diet, or maybe every single supplement or gimmicky fad flippin' fat loss thing that's out there. Maybe that is everything you tried. And guess what? Maybe that is the very reason that you have not stuck to it, because it is most likely impossible to stick to it. Maybe you've tried keto, maybe you've tried intermittent fasting, maybe you've tried being a carnivore for a day or two. Hell, maybe you've even tried doing the cabbage soup diet for half a day before giving up. Maybe you've also tried the 4.5-day water/chia seed detox. I don't think there is. Actually, I take my words back. There probably is something like that out there. But here's the thing. Have you tried creating healthier habits? Have you tried shifting your mindset away from quick fixes and fad diets? Have you tried having more patience? Also, have you tried not giving up when it gets difficult? And I will ask this again. Have you tried embarking on your health and fat loss expedition with the mindset being far more about that number on the scale, with the foundation being creating healthier habits? Because oftentimes when you embark on doing something like keto, intermittent fasting, the carnivore diet, the cabbage soup diet, whatever it is, most people will go into it with the mindset of, I have to lose as much weight as possible, as quick as possible. And then it becomes very difficult, because all of these ways of losing weight that I have mentioned can be quite restrictive. And here's another harsh truth that maybe you don't want to hear. You have tried every diet, you have tried every fad, you have tried every quick fix, you have tried every single fat loss supplement, you have tried every single gimmicky exercise equipment from Verimark, and none of them work. Well, guess what? None of them actually are setting you up for long-term success. And that is why it doesn't work. There are even people trying coffee enemas as a way of losing weight. But then you will tell me that tracking calories is too tedious, that meal prepping is too time consuming. And you'll point out that you don't have time to go for a quick walk in the evening after work. because it's just too draining. So my question remains, have you really tried everything? Or have you only tried what suits your narrative of losing as much weight as quick as possible? Now, I know you might be thinking, oh, but Mandy, I have tried creating healthier habits, but that also didn't work. Why, Sally? Why didn't that work? This is what you need to figure out. Because you cannot just stop doing something when it isn't working. You cannot just stop doing something when it gets difficult, when there's struggles, when there's speed bumps, when there's hurdles. You cannot stop working on it. When your car stops working along the national highway, heaven forbid that happens, but let's just say it does happen, do you just get out of your car and leave it there for the next 6 months and say, oh, well, it just stopped working, so what's the point? No, most likely what is going to happen is you're going to call a tow-in truck or some sort of service to get the car back home or to the closest garage to actually figure out why it stopped working. So guess what? They can work on it so that it can continue working. So just like you figure out what is going on with the car so that it can start working again, you also need to figure out why things got difficult and you stopped, so that you can actually work through those struggles by setting up a plan of action. Now, some of the reasons that creating healthier habits might also not work for you could come down to your levels of expectations, again, when it comes to that number on the scale. And as much as you are creating healthier habits, you are still in control of the levels of your restrictiveness. That is something that you need to have a look at. You can be creating healthier habits, but your food choices could still be very restrictive, which will lead to you possibly giving up because it's so damn difficult. If you go into creating healthier habits with the mindset of this is all about fat loss, that is also going to make it increasingly more difficult to adhere to creating those healthier habits. As mentioned, you might say you've tried everything, but nothing works. Well, have you tried adding some of your favorite fun foods to the plan? Oh, no, Mandy, that is not allowed because chocolate leads to fat gain. No. You see, these are the things that I'm talking about. Have you really tried everything? Have you tried a change of plan? Have you tried a change of strategy? Have you tried a change of mindset, going from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset? Your approach, have you tried a different approach when the first or second or third approach wasn't working? What I do need to make very clear is that a lot of things that a lot of people try are setting them up for failure because they are overly restrictive. So I don't expect things like that to work. But when it comes to things in your control, have you tried everything? Yes, you want to have healthy habits or the creation of healthy habits as the foundation that you are building in the pursuit of creating a healthier lifestyle. But along with that, you are going to need to work on having patience. You are going to need to work on a shift in mindset from only focusing on that scale to focusing on the bigger picture that is your health and the improvement of your health. And then having fat loss be a byproduct of that. Now, I know that this was probably not an easy episode to listen to if you did get to this point. But like I said, these are the things that you need to hear because oftentimes you think that you are doing everything according to plan and it is just not working. But does that plan actually align with long-term changes and sustainable changes? And is that plan adherable? Is that a word? I don't know. And is that plan realistic? These are all of the things that need to be taken into consideration. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is, have you tried not giving up when it gets difficult? Have you tried to continue pushing through the struggles? And have you tried being kinder to yourself on the days when things don't go according to plan? On that note, I'm going to love and leave you like I usually do. Keep smiling, keep laughing, and keep being kind to one another. Much love, your friend who dishes out some tough love from time to time, Mandy.